Okay, so here we are. This is the motocross part of the James Stewart Compound DLC, which is really cool. I actually think this is my favorite part of the DLC. We've been doing Supercross like non-stop, obviously. MX versus ATV Supercross, so makes sense. But I really like the motocross part of it. Now, I'm not going to do a separate like motocross north, motocross south. That's stupid. I think that's stupid. I'm just going to do the whole loop, the pro loop, because it's just both pieces pushed together. And I can show you where they cut it, basically. So, actually, I think I can. I don't know. We'll see. If I remember, I'll show you. But we're going to do the full loop. We'll do like 3 laps, maybe 4 laps, depending on how well things go, and go from there. But you can ride this. You can ride this one at night as well, just like you can the one Supercross track. There's just no lights, but you can still see there's a few dark spots, but yeah, it's not that bad. So we'll get off to a start on the short loop. You would go straight from here, but instead we're gonna turn this way and jump this, and then I think I have to preload. I'm not gonna. I don't know if I need to or not. Ooh, it would have been close. Definitely needed a preload on that. Ooh, came up so short. I guess I knew that, but I just like not preloading things. It feels smooth when you can get through a section without having to preload. Plus, I think it looks better. So, and this section I used to blow all the time. Let's try not to blow it. I used to jump past that every time because it looks like you need to. It just looks like you need to, but I don't know. I guess you don't. So we're having a pretty smooth run so far. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of this section. It's just kind of weird. I don't think it flows terribly well. But overall, I think it's a pretty fun track. I like the motocross one. Less preloading, just more riding. Ah, come on. Cut it, cut it, cut it. Okay, now we're back on the other loop. Oh my goodness, we're getting so out of control right now. Come on. Okay, definitely don't remember doing this. Like I said, again, minimal experience. Whoa. No preload either, just straight out overpowering that jump. Wow, okay. And then another double, and then there's this double in the corner, which I think I'll preload. At least just a little bit. Just enough. See if we can get around this section. I butchered that a little bit. Nah, I'll preload that because I don't know if I would have got over it otherwise. Oh, just barely get over that, jeez. Definitely preload. Oh, I'm gonna hop off the track. Dang it. That definitely preload that section because those things are big. Those really aren't whoops. They're, I think you could kind of jump in, jump out, basically. So, big table. And then to the finish line here, which let off a little bit on that. I let off a little too much, but so that's 1 lap. I'm curious to see what exactly a lap, how long that takes, but I'm guessing it takes a while because this is a pretty long track when you do it like this. Definitely think that's weird. I feel like that's weird how the track cuts and veers off like that. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I think that's too weird. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think so. We kind of cut the track a little bit, but yeah, you know, it is kind of like that. It's just like that. Come up a little short. Get over this. I think the back half of the track is more fun than the front half. Oh, remember this. Remember this. Learn. Yeah, I definitely think the back half of the track's more fun than the front half here. Forgot my preload on that. My bad. This is that section that I just feel doesn't flow that well. And then we'll be back onto the back half of the section here in just a little bit here. Hey, actually that wasn't too bad. We made a nice transition to this. That's probably the nicest one that we've had this whole time. Doubles. Come on. Get it, son. Yeah, I definitely, the motocross track I think is probably by far my favorite part of this DLC. It's a nice big long track. Has a pretty good flow, minus a few negative points for me on it. It's pretty good. The Supercross tracks are good too, but not my favorite part of this. We got over that pretty awesome. No preload on that either for the win. Like we're getting a nice flow. You need a big preload over this. It shoots you a mile in the air. Okay, yeah, that's what happens if you don't preload through it. So it's not terribly ugly, but it's definitely, I think it's cleaner and it's faster to jump through all that. Off the track. Still clear this easy. That's a big tabletop. Getting mighty awful sideways. Okay, that's 2 laps. Let's go for one more. We'll go for one more lap. But again, I kind of showed you where the track would keep going. So if you were going to do one loop, you keep going straight. But if you're going to do this one, you veer off. And if you're going to do the full loop, you veer off this way as well. So you can see exactly what it is. I'm not cutting anything. You're not missing anything if I don't do it. If I don't do the other loop, I mean, or both mini loops, whatever they're called. I call them mini loops. Off the track. Coming up short. Little preload. Actually, I don't even know if I got a preload off that. Let's not blow this. Nice, 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 nice. Got it. Got it! Son, yeah. I forgot to preload over that again. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Just not a fan of this section right here. I know in that one video they did a hot lap or something. He was jumping onto that table. I think that looked, I just wasn't a fan of that. Ooh, that was a little sketchy. That was a little sketchy. But you know what? We got through it, so that's what matters. Oh! It's sketchy. Man, you get so much air off of that one without even trying very hard. I gave it a little preload, because last time we didn't make it over very well. And this time we didn't make that at all. But you know what? Our runs on the motocross part are definitely looking better than the supercross part of us did, I think. We're getting through this. I like this part of the loop the best. This back section for sure. Or front section. Whatever you want to call it. Barely getting over that though. Yeah, we kind of got an iffy run through that. Very iffy, but go through this very sandy section here. What's next? I'm trying to remember. Table, big table, big table. Throw a whip. You know what? We'll throw a whip over that. We never whip, but we threw one right there. And let off for this, and then we'll throw a whip to the finish line to celebrate our awesomeness. Okay, so that's the motocross. Like I said, you could, it is split, so you could do just one part of the loop and then the other part of the loop, but I really don't think it's worth it. You know, if you were going to do one part of the loop, you'd go here and you'd veer off from the starting line, and then you would just, you know, you can see when you finished, you'd come from this section and then you would turn and go this way to connect the loop. Now, if you were going to do the other loop, you would keep going straight instead of turn. See what I'm saying? You would come off the starting line over, you know, starting line's over there. So instead of turning here, turning this way, you would just go straight, and then it would veer off and you would come over the finish line and do it all over again. That is the easiest part of the loop. This is the part that doesn't really connect that well, I don't think. Once you veer off the starting gate, then it makes sense because it just turns. But trying to connect the two through this and this basically this double right here. Yeah, it'd be like this double. So you double off of this over to here, and then that connects them. I think that's such an ugly transition, but it works. I guess it just took me a little getting used to it, I guess. But yeah, I like it so far. I guess the little that I've rode everything, I like it. Definitely, in my opinion, I think the motocross track is the coolest aspect of this DLC. By far, for me, the motocross is, because, you know, you can see when you finish, you'd come from this section and then you would turn and go this way to connect the loop. Now, if you were going to do one part of the loop, you'd go here and you'd come off the starting line, and then you would come from this section and then you would veer off from the starting gate. Then it makes sense because it just turns. But trying to connect the two through this and this, basically this double right here. Yeah, it'd be like this double. So you double off of this over to here, and then that connects them. I think that's such an ugly transition, but my nostalgia wanted it from the other MX versus ATV titles, and I finally got one. It's really cool, I like it, and I think I can ride the motocross part of it better than I can the Supercross. Obviously, I had a lot of mistakes on the Supercross tracks. I don't have a lot of time in it, but again, I enjoyed the motocross part of it. Being able to switch to day and night on it's cool, but really the only thing that benefited from that was this one right here. No, not this one. This right here. This Supercross track. Because this is the only one that has lights on it. So you can ride the motocross track, you can ride the other Supercross track, but the only thing that really benefits from it is the one Supercross track. So it's cool, it's a nice touch, but it's not something that I think makes, I don't know, it's not as cool as I was hoping it would be, I guess. But the motocross track is as cool as I was hoping it would be. The compound in general is really good. I'd say the compound's very, very good. It's, I guess it's hard for me to say if it's as good as or better than all the other DLCs. It's so different how they did it. It's so different. I liked it being a compound, so you can just kind of, you can hang out in here without having, you know, sometimes it can be annoying having to leave. If you're free riding practicing a track and then you have to go and load the other track, that's kind of annoying. Now you don't have to. You can ride this Supercross track, then you can just mosey on over to the other one, and then you can hit the motocross track. So I think it's really cool. I think the compound is good. You know, we've seen it before in other games, and we've seen this compound in other games, but I think it's still good. I'm happy with it. It's $10 in the Moto Depot as normal, which doesn't surprise me. Do I think you should buy it? I don't know. I guess for me it was worth it, again, in my opinion. For me, it was worth it, if nothing else, just for the motocross track. For the pro motocross loop, it was 100% worth it because that's freaking awesome. That thing is freaking awesome. The Supercross tracks are meh, you know, they're okay. There's nothing great. There's plenty of other better Supercross tracks and other DLCs we got. These ones are okay. They're middle of the road at best. And the being able to ride at night's kind of cool too, because, you know what, it's kind of cool to go check out like the motocross track when it's nighttime outside, because you can still see, and it's just a change of scenario, I guess. So it's cool. But for me, the selling point in this one was the motocross track, 100%. Not the night and day, not the Supercross, not the fact that it was a compound. It's the motocross track. Now, for you, it might be different, but I think it was worth it just for the motocross track. So, in my opinion, I think it's definitely worth buying. If you don't really care to do motocross in these kind of games and prefer the Supercross, you know, then it's kind of, you know, it's kind of, I'm not really sure. You might like it, you might not. Like I said, the Supercross tracks were nothing spectacular. They are, I know it's supposed to be the Stewart Compound, but they really didn't feel that spectacular to me. They were good, but they weren't great. Motocross track, again, I'm gonna keep saying it, was really, really cool. I liked it a lot. So yeah, if you like the motocross tracks and previous titles, then give this a chance and you might like it. You might like it just for the motocross part. Being able to switch scenarios with the night and day is kind of cool. Being a compound in general is kind of cool. So yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it's the best DLC out there for this game. I think there's been other DLCs better than this, but I think the motocross track is probably one of the coolest, if not the coolest track in the game to date so far. So definitely happy with that. I'd be happy to see more motocross tracks implemented in the game later, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. So we'll go from there. But thanks for everything. You guys and girls are amazing, and that's going to do it for this DLC. So if you have it, let me know in the comments what's your favorite part of the compound, and yeah, so thanks for everything. You're amazing. So until the next video, take it easy.